Alien school guard struck the Deathworld girl. Then her eyes turned black. Lily Carter stepped off the shuttle and felt the first shock of the Academy world. The air smelled different from her home planet, and the gravity felt lighter than on Deathworld. Her small frame hardly seemed ready for the massive halls and tall alien students all around her. She took a deep breath and tried to steady herself. Her eyes scanned the crowd of students walking in lines, talking and laughing. Some were human, but most were aliens with strange shapes, colors, and faces. She tried to look confident, but inside she felt nervous. "You must be Lily Carter," a soft voice said. She turned to see a human girl around her age. She had short brown hair and a kind smile. "I'm Claire Mason. Want me to show you around?" Lily nodded, grateful for the friendly face. "Thank you, it's a lot to take in." Claire laughed softly. "You'll get used to it. It's different, sure, but once you know the rules and the people, it's not so bad." They walked down a long corridor with high ceilings and glowing lights. Lily noticed guards in silver armor moving along the walls. They had long arms, sharp eyes, and looked very serious. One guard in particular, much taller than the others, stopped and looked directly at Lily. His eyes were narrow and he seemed to examine her like she was an insect. She felt a chill but kept walking. "Don't mind them," Claire said. "That one is Zorak. He's the school guard, strict but fair if you follow the rules. If you don't, well, you'll know." Lily tried not to think about him as she followed Claire to the training area. The hall opened into a large room with mats and targets. Aliens of all shapes practiced martial arts, weapon handling, and strange energy exercises. The sounds of impacts, grunts, and the occasional shout filled the air. She took a deep breath, trying to match the strength in the room with her own small frame. A human boy, Ethan Brooks, came over and offered a hand. "New human, huh? Don't worry, you'll survive. Or at least I hope you will." He gave a friendly wink. Lily smiled weakly, shaking his hand. The first class began and Lily felt all eyes on her. The teacher, an alien with glowing blue skin and 3 eyes, began to speak. "Today we train for strength, speed, and skill. You will learn to protect yourselves and respect all species." The words sounded calm, but the students could feel the weight behind them. This was not a school for easy lessons. This was a school for survival. Lily joined the class, doing her best to match the movements of her taller, faster classmates. Aliens twisted, leapt, and struck with power that made her muscles ache just from watching. Her legs burned from the light gravity and her arms shook with fatigue. Yet she remembered Deathworld. She remembered climbing cliffs in storms, running through forests with acid rain, surviving hunger and predators. She could not fail. She would not fail. After an hour, Zorak, the tall guard, walked past the training group. He stopped and watched her. Lily felt his gaze like a weight on her back. He whispered to the teacher, and the teacher nodded slightly. He walked away, but his eyes kept following her from the corner of the room. During a break, some alien students approached her. One, taller than her with gray skin and 4 fingers on each hand, smirked. "So, you're from Deathworld, huh? Must be weak if you're human. We heard your planet kills everything just by existing." His friends laughed. Lily clenched her fists but stayed silent. She had learned long ago not to answer with words when it would only bring more danger. Ethan stepped forward, scowling. "Leave her alone. She's new, but she's not weak." The alien sneered. "Oh, really? A human boy defending a human girl? How cute. Your kind never lasts here." Before the fight could start, the bell rang. The students separated, and the teacher's voice echoed through the hall. "Everyone back to your dorms. Training continues tomorrow." Lily walked with Claire and Ethan toward the human dorm wing. She felt both exhausted and strangely awake. She knew the aliens would judge her. She knew Zorak would be watching. But she also knew she had survived worse. That night, she lay on her small cot in the dorm. She looked at the ceiling, thinking of Deathworld. The storms, the cliffs, the nights she had spent alone, hiding from predators bigger than any alien she had seen here. She could feel the strength inside her, the survival instincts that had kept her alive. This academy would not break her. She would show them quietly that humans could endure more than they thought. The next morning, Lily woke early. She walked to the training hall before breakfast, wanting to practice on her own. The mats were empty, and sunlight streamed through the windows. She ran drills she had learned back home, moving faster than she expected, landing strikes with more force than her small size suggested. She felt sweat drip down her face but smiled. She was ready. As the students arrived, Zorak appeared. He stood at the doorway, tall and imposing. "Human," he said, "stay out of my way. This is not a place for weaklings." Lily looked at him calmly. "I'm not weak," she said softly. Zorak raised an eyebrow and walked past, dismissing her words but making a note of her presence. He did not know yet that he had just awakened something he would later fear. Throughout the day, aliens continued to judge her, push her, and sometimes mock her. Yet Lily moved with focus and patience. She did not argue. She did not retaliate. She only trained harder, survived every test, and stayed aware of every movement. Her black hair was tied back, her green eyes sharp, and her small body a contrast to the towering aliens surrounding her. By evening, Ethan and Claire found her sitting alone, stretching. "You don't give up, do you?" Ethan said. "I've survived worse," Lily replied. "I can survive here too," Claire nodded. "Just be careful. Zorak watches more closely than anyone else, and some of the aliens don't like humans, not just here, anywhere." Lily smiled faintly. "That's okay. I've never needed anyone to like me to survive." And so, the first day ended. Lily lay on her cot, thinking of the long days ahead. She knew the academy would test her and the aliens would try to see her fail. But she also knew something the aliens did not. Deathworld had taught her more than strength. It had taught her patience, control, and survival beyond imagination. Her eyes closed and she drifted into sleep, unaware that tomorrow everything would change and her true power would begin to show. The next morning, a new tension filled the air. Zorak, the guard, watched more closely, and the alien students whispered about the small human from Deathworld. Some wanted to challenge her, some wanted to see if the rumors were true. Lily did not speak to them, did not react. She only moved with grace, with quiet power, and with an awareness that everything around her was a test. By the time the sun set on the second day, some aliens had begun to notice the truth. Lily Carter was not just a human girl from a weak world. She was a survivor. She carried with her the silent strength of Deathworld, and Zorak, watching from the shadows, felt the first ripple of doubt. He had judged her too quickly. He had assumed her small size meant weakness. He had assumed her human nature meant she could not endure what they endured. He was wrong, though he did not yet know how wrong. Lily, lying on her cot that night, stared at the ceiling. She thought of Deathworld storms, the cliffs, the predators. She remembered the nights she had spent alone, fighting to survive. She smiled faintly. The academy could try to strike her down. The aliens could try to mock her, push her, or hit her. But she was ready. She would endure. She would survive. And one day they would understand. And with that thought, her green eyes glimmered with quiet determination. The next day, the academy hall was louder than usual. Alien students were practicing weapon drills, running across the mats and showing off their strength. Lily Carter walked in calmly, her small frame moving with quiet confidence. She had learned to focus, to keep her mind clear, and to watch everything around her. Every step was careful, every movement precise. Deathworld had taught her to see danger before it came. Zorak, the tall alien guard, stood near the entrance. His arms were crossed and his glowing eyes scanned the room. He noticed Lily immediately. She was small, yes, but something in her posture made him uneasy. He had expected fear, weakness, but he saw none. Instead, he saw focus and control. He narrowed his eyes, stepping forward slightly. Some alien students whispered among themselves. One gray-skinned boy with long arms and sharp teeth smirked at her. "The human girl thinks she can handle this," he said loudly. His friends laughed. Lily ignored them. She moved to the practice area, stretching her arms and legs. Ethan and Claire followed behind, trying to keep up. "Don't let them get to you," Ethan said quietly. "They are just trying to scare you." Lily nodded. "I've faced worse," she replied softly. "This is nothing compared to Deathworld." The teacher, the three-eyed alien, stepped forward. "Today we will have combat drills. Pairs will face each other under supervision. Strength, speed, and strategy will be tested. Remember, control is as important as power." Lily was paired with the gray-skinned alien boy who had mocked her. He smirked and moved toward her with long, fast steps. "Ready to lose, human," he sneered. Lily stood calmly. "I'm ready," she said. The fight began. The boy lunged with speed, swinging his arms with power. Lily ducked and rolled, her movements precise. She used her small size to her advantage, dodging quickly, hitting where she could, and keeping her balance. Some of the alien students stopped to watch, impressed by her skill. Zorak, watching from the side, frowned. He did not like seeing a human keep up with an alien much larger than her. He whispered to the teacher, pointing at her. The teacher nodded, allowing the drill to continue but watching carefully. The gray-skinned boy grew frustrated. No matter how fast or strong he was, Lily avoided his strikes. He shouted in anger and tried a risky move, swinging high. Lily moved under him and struck lightly on his shoulder, using just enough force to unbalance him. He fell to the mat with a thud, groaning. The classroom was silent for a moment. Some aliens snickered, others frowned. Zorak's eyes narrowed further. He stepped forward, his massive frame moving toward Lily. He towered over her, and the small human felt the weight of his presence. "Human," he said, his voice low and sharp. "Step aside. You are not ready for this." Lily stood tall, her green eyes steady. "I'm ready," she said calmly. Zorak's expression darkened. He did not like being defied. He had authority here, and a small human girl would not challenge him. Before anyone could stop him, he struck her lightly on the side of her head. The force was enough to knock her to the ground. The classroom gasped. Students froze. Some alien students muttered among themselves, but no one moved. Lily lay still for a moment. She felt the strike, but she did not cry or shout. She closed her eyes and focused on her breathing. Deep inside, a calm but powerful feeling began to rise. Memories of Deathworld came flooding back. The storms, the cliffs, the nights spent alone. She remembered the predators, the hunger, and the constant fight to survive. Slowly she opened her eyes. The classroom seemed to change. The air felt heavier. Her green eyes were fading into black. First the pupils, then the entire iris. Her small body trembled slightly, but she did not panic. The blackness in her eyes seemed to carry strength, patience, and controlled power. Zorak stepped back, startled. He had never seen this before. The students noticed too. Whispers filled the room. "Look at her eyes," one alien said. "They are black." Lily rose to her feet. Her body felt light but strong. She moved closer to Zorak, her voice calm but full of authority. "You do not understand humans," she said softly. "You judge by size, strength, or shape. You do not know what we endure." Zorak's hand trembled slightly. He had struck humans before, but never had one responded like this. Never had one awakened such presence. He realized in that moment that he had underestimated her. Some alien students stepped back. The gray-skinned boy who had fought her looked terrified. How can she?" he started but could not finish. Lily did not attack. She did not raise her hands in anger. She simply stood there, letting the blackness of her eyes speak for her. The energy around her seemed to press against the walls. Zorak could feel it, as if the small human carried the harshness of Deathworld inside her. "I've survived storms that could tear ships apart," Lily said quietly, but every word carried weight. "I've climbed cliffs that would kill you in seconds. I've fought predators stronger than any of you. I have survived hunger, cold, and fear that would make a warrior break. You think a strike can stop me? You are wrong." The classroom was silent. The other students did not dare speak. Even the teacher's 3 eyes widened slightly. Zorak's hands clenched, but he stayed silent. He had taught humans before, he had seen their limits, but nothing like this. Nothing prepared him for Deathworld human survival. Lily's black eyes began to soften slightly, though the power inside her remained. She turned to the gray-skinned boy. You can train to fight to survive, but you cannot understand what it means to endure a Deathworld. Respect is not earned with size or strength alone. The boy, pale and shaking, nodded. He had never felt fear like this before. He had faced alien predators, alien soldiers, and alien training, but never a human who carried the force of her planet in her being. Zorak finally spoke, his voice low. Human, step back. You are not what I expected. Lily remained calm, taking a step back. Expectations are dangerous, she said. Underestimate me and you will regret it. The teacher clapped lightly, signaling the end of the drill. Enough for today. This was a lesson for all of you, not just in combat but in respect and understanding. The alien students murmured among themselves. Some were impressed, some scared, but all had seen something different. They had seen a human girl not break under authority, not flinch under power, and not fear even when struck. Ethan and Claire rushed to her side. Are you okay? Ethan asked, his eyes wide. Lily nodded, smiling faintly. I'm fine, it's just they need to learn. Claire looked at Zorak, who was still standing with his arms crossed, trying to regain composure. He's going to be watching you closely now, she said. Let him watch, Lily replied. He will learn something new and so will the others. Later in the dorm, Lily sat quietly thinking. She replayed the strike, the blackness of her eyes, and the power she had felt inside herself. It was not anger, it was control, it was survival. Deathworld had taught her to survive, but also to remain calm, even when others attacked. The next day, whispers filled the academy. Did you see Lily Carter's eyes? Some students asked. I've never felt anything like that from a human. Zorak walked the halls with a different look. He was no longer just a strict guard. Now he had doubt, caution, and curiosity. He could not ignore what he had seen. Lily was more than human. She was a survivor, a force of nature shaped by a world that tried to kill her every day. And Lily, lying on her cot that night, thought of tomorrow. She knew the academy would test her further. She knew some aliens would push her, some would challenge her, and Zorak would watch closely. But she also knew one thing: she was ready. Whatever they tried, she could survive. Whatever strength they showed, she had seen worse. Whatever power they unleashed, she had endured storms, cliffs, and predators beyond imagination. Her black eyes had been a warning today, but tomorrow she would show more. Not out of anger, but to remind them all that humans from Deathworlds were not weak. They were quiet, enduring, and stronger than any alien expected. And somewhere deep inside, Lily smiled faintly, thinking of the day when the Academy would truly understand the human spirit. The day after Zorak struck Lily, the Academy felt different. Whispers followed her through the hallways. Alien students stopped their conversations when she passed. Even those who had mocked her before kept their distance. Her black eyes had left a mark, a quiet warning that humans from Deathworld were not weak. Lily moved through the halls calmly. She had learned to ignore stares, whispers, and sneers. Every step was measured, every movement precise. Ethan and Claire walked beside her. It's strange, Ethan said quietly. Everyone is afraid now, even the big aliens. Lily nodded. They are learning fear is not bad. It teaches respect. They will understand eventually. The training hall was crowded. Students practiced in pairs, lifting weights, striking targets, and sparring. The gray-skinned boy who had challenged her yesterday stood in the corner, his arms folded, watching. He did not approach her. He could not. His confidence had been shaken. Zorak, the guard, was at the entrance. His glowing eyes followed her carefully. He had not expected the black eyes to be more than a trick. He had underestimated Deathworld humans, and now he felt a tension he had never felt before. Every move she made seemed to carry control, awareness, and quiet strength. He wondered if he had made a mistake yesterday. The teacher clapped his hands. Today we will practice endurance and combat under pressure. You will face challenges in pairs, then as a group. Learn to rely on yourself and your strength, not just your partner. Lily was paired with a small alien named Nira. She had 4 arms and moved quickly, striking targets with precision. Nira smiled politely. "I hope we can work well together," she said. Lily nodded. "We will, just stay focused." The challenge began. Students had to move across the mats while dodging swinging poles, striking targets, and avoiding sudden obstacles. Many fell, stumbled, or hit the poles. Lily moved with quiet confidence. Her small frame slipped between obstacles, her steps precise and her strikes accurate. She did not panic, even when Nira slipped or a pole swung too close. Zorak watched, his arms crossed. He noticed the alien students who had mocked her before struggling while Lily moved smoothly. She was fast, controlled, and calm. It was not brute strength but skill and endurance. At one point, a heavy pole swung toward her. She ducked under it and kicked it to the side with enough force to knock it away. It clattered loudly, drawing the attention of everyone in the hall. Some students gasped. Others stepped back. Even Zorak took a step back. He had never seen a human react with such strength and precision. After the obstacle challenge, students moved to sparring. The gray-skinned boy approached her again, attempting to prove himself. His movements were fast and strong, but Lily was faster. She dodged, blocked, and struck lightly where needed. Every hit was precise, not meant to harm but to show control. The boy stumbled again, his confidence shaken further. "Stop," the teacher called. "Enough. This is a lesson in control and skill, not in causing harm. Observe, learn, and understand your limits." Lily stepped back, her breathing steady. Her black eyes had faded, returning to their normal green. But the power she had shown yesterday and today had left a lasting impression. Students whispered, staring at her in awe and caution. Zorak approached her slowly. His voice was low, almost cautious. "Human, your strength it is unusual. Controlled, precise, and unlike anything I have seen." Lily nodded slightly. "I am trained to survive. Deathworld teaches endurance, control, and awareness. Strength alone is not enough. You have to survive everything every day." Zorak did not reply immediately. He studied her carefully. He had assumed humans were fragile, weak, and easily broken. He realized he had been wrong. Deathworld had shaped her, made her capable of handling more than most aliens could imagine. He felt something new, respect, cautious and unspoken. Throughout the day, other students approached her, cautiously at first, then with curiosity. A few asked how she trained, what Deathworld was like, and how humans survived. Lily spoke simply, not boasting but describing the harsh environments she had endured. Storms that could tear ships apart, cliffs that no alien could climb, nights alone in freezing cold, predators that could eat a human in seconds. Every word carried weight because it was true. Ethan and Claire stayed near her, helping when questions became too difficult. "She's telling the truth," Ethan said to a group of aliens. "Humans from Deathworld survive things you cannot even imagine." Some alien students began to change their attitude. They stopped mocking her. They watched, listened, and even trained harder. The whispers were no longer only of fear. They were of respect, curiosity, and understanding. Later, Zorak returned to the training hall alone. He watched Lily from a distance as she moved through the drills with calm precision. He could see her focus, the way her muscles worked efficiently, the way she anticipated movements before they happened. He had trained soldiers, warriors, and champions, but he had never seen this combination of endurance, control, and quiet strength. "How can one human be like this?" he muttered to himself. "I thought she was weak, fragile, but she is not. She is something else entirely." Lily noticed him watching but did not change her movements. She had learned long ago not to show fear, not to react unnecessarily, and to let others learn her strength in their own time. Deathworld had taught her patience as well as power. The rest of the day passed with similar lessons. Alien students tested themselves against obstacles, each other, and challenges. Lily moved calmly, steadily, and efficiently. She made mistakes, of course, but each one was minor and she corrected them quickly. The other students noticed. They began to treat her differently, not as a small, weak human, but as a survivor. By evening, the academy was quiet. The sun set through the large windows, casting long shadows across the training mats. Lily sat on the floor, stretching her arms and legs. Ethan and Claire joined her. "You've changed everything," Claire said softly. "They don't look at you the same anymore. Even Zorak, he watches differently." Lily smiled faintly. "I didn't come here to impress them. I came here to survive, to learn, and to show them that humans from Deathworld endure more than they think. Respect comes from understanding, not fear alone." Ethan nodded. "Well, you're teaching them both at the same time." Lily laughed quietly. "Perhaps. But I don't need to teach them everything. Some lessons they will learn on their own." That night, lying in her cot, Lily thought of tomorrow. She knew challenges would come, tests would be harder, and some aliens would still try to push her. She did not fear them. She had endured storms, cliffs, predators, and hunger that no alien could imagine. She had survived things meant to break her. The academy was difficult, yes, but she was ready. Her black eyes, though gone now, had left a message. Humans from Deathworld were not weak. They were quiet, enduring, and more dangerous than any alien expected. And Lily Carter, small and seemingly fragile, carried that truth in every movement, every breath, and every glance. As she drifted into sleep, she felt calm. She knew that the next strike, the next test, and the next challenge would come, but she also knew she was ready. The academy might judge, test, or even try to harm her again, but she would survive. Deathworld had trained her for this and more. And somewhere deep inside, Lily smiled faintly, knowing the academy would never see humans the same way again. The morning sun shone through the tall windows of the academy. Lily Carter walked into the training hall, her small figure calm and confident. The alien students were already gathered, stretching and preparing for drills. Whispers followed her. Everyone remembered the black eyes from 2 days ago. Some were afraid, others curious, and a few were beginning to respect her. Zorak, the tall alien guard, stood at the entrance, his glowing eyes fixed on her. He had spent the night thinking about her, analyzing every movement he had seen. He had assumed humans were weak. He had assumed they could be controlled. Now he knew better, but he did not yet understand how far her strength could go. The teacher clapped his hands. "Today, we will test your endurance and group strategy. Obstacles will be unpredictable, and challenges will be harder. Work together, but also rely on your own strength." Lily nodded, joining Ethan and Claire. They moved carefully across the mats, weaving between swinging poles and avoiding moving platforms. The alien students were stronger, faster, and larger, but Lily moved with precision. Every step, every strike, every dodge was measured. She did not rely on brute strength. She relied on control, awareness, and survival instincts learned on Deathworld. As the first round of challenges ended, the gray-skinned boy from before approached her again, this time with two friends. They were taller, stronger, and angrier. "Human," he sneered. "Let's see if you can survive today." Lily stood calmly. "I will do what I must to survive," she said softly. The fight began. The three aliens lunged at her, swinging, striking, and trying to overpower her. Lily dodged, twisted, and moved lightly. She did not attack at first. She observed. Every movement they made, every strike, every misstep was noted in her mind. She felt the rhythm, the pattern, and the weakness. Zorak watched carefully. He noticed the way she moved. She was small, yes, but she controlled every part of the fight. She did not panic. She did not flinch. She did not waste energy. Every dodge was efficient, every counter precise. He began to feel unease. One alien swung a heavy pole at her head. She ducked under it and grabbed the pole, lifting it with ease despite her small frame. The weight surprised the alien, who stumbled backward. The blackness of her eyes began to return slowly, not fully, but enough to make the air feel heavier. A quiet tension filled the hall. Lily spoke softly, her voice calm but firm. "You attack without thought. Strength alone will not win here." The aliens hesitated. They had not expected her to move so quickly or handle the heavy weapon. The other students stopped to watch. Even the teacher remained silent, observing. Zorak's glowing eyes narrowed. He stepped forward. "Human, stop. This is enough. You are causing fear." Lily did not stop. She moved with fluid motion, disarming the aliens one by one. She did not strike to harm, but her strength was undeniable. The gray-skinned boy fell to his knees, exhausted and shocked. His friends scrambled backward, frightened. "Enough!" the teacher shouted. "Step back!" Lily raised her hand slowly, her black eyes fully visible now. The room felt heavier. The air was tense. She stood small, calm, and controlled, but every student and teacher could feel the power she carried. It was not just physical. It was the survival of Deathworld, the endurance of storms, cliffs, predators, and hunger. It was human survival condensed into one form. Zorak stepped back, his jaw tight. He had underestimated her before. He had assumed humans were weak, but he was wrong. Very wrong. The black eyes were a warning, but the calm control was worse. It showed she could unleash more if needed. Lily spoke softly, but every word carried weight. "Humans from Deathworld endure what no alien can imagine. We survive storms, predators, hunger, and fear. We do not rely on size or brute strength. We rely on endurance, control, and awareness. Underestimate us and you will regret it." The other students were silent. The gray-skinned boy and his friends cowered, realizing they had been foolish. The room was filled with quiet tension. Even the teacher, experienced and wise, felt the weight of her words and presence. Zorak approached cautiously. "Human, your strength, it is unusual, controlled, precise, and frightening. I have never seen this." Lily's black eyes softened slightly, returning to green. She did not smile. She did not celebrate. She simply stood there calm, letting the lesson sink in. She had not attacked out of anger. She had only shown controlled power to make them understand. Ethan and Claire approached her slowly. "Are you okay?" Ethan asked, his voice low. Lily nodded. "I'm fine." They need to learn. Sometimes fear teaches respect better than words. The rest of the day continued with practice, but now the alien students treated her differently. They no longer mocked her. They asked questions, watched her movements, and tried to understand her strength. Some even tried to learn from her, practicing with more care and focus. Zorak remained at the edge of the hall. He studied her, analyzing every movement. He had taught warriors, soldiers, and champions, but he had never seen this combination of endurance, control, and quiet power. Deathworld humans were different, and he now understood that. Respect, cautious and unspoken, filled him. By evening, Lily returned to the dorm, calm and collected. Ethan and Claire walked with her. "You've changed everything," Claire said softly. "They don't see you the same anymore. Even Zorak," Lily nodded. "I didn't come here to impress them. I came here to survive and show the truth. Humans endure more than most believe. Respect is earned through understanding, not just words." Ethan smiled. "Well, you've earned it in every way." That night, lying in her cot, Lily thought of tomorrow. She knew more challenges would come. Some aliens would still test her. Zorak would continue to watch closely, but she did not fear them. She had survived storms that could destroy buildings, predators that could tear her apart, and hunger that would break others. The academy was difficult, but she was ready. Her black eyes had returned today, not in anger but to show control and strength. The message was clear. Humans from Deathworld were not weak. They were quiet, enduring, and more powerful than most aliens expected. And Lily Carter, small and calm, carried that truth in every movement, every breath, and every glance. As she drifted into sleep, she felt calm. The academy might challenge her, push her, or even try to harm her again, but she would survive. Deathworld had prepared her for this and more. And somewhere deep inside, Lily smiled faintly, knowing the academy would never see humans the same way again. The morning at the academy was unusually quiet. Whispers ran through the halls. Every student remembered Lily Carter's black eyes and the quiet, controlled power she had shown. Some were curious, some afraid, and some were beginning to respect her. The academy felt different now, as if a small shift had occurred. Humans were no longer just small, fragile creatures in the eyes of the aliens. They were survivors, quiet and dangerous. Lily walked through the hall, her steps calm and confident. Ethan and Claire followed her, talking quietly about yesterday's training. "People are starting to listen now," Ethan said. "They watch instead of mocking." Lily nodded. "It's not just about being noticed. It's about understanding. Humans endure more than most imagine. They need to see it for themselves before they respect it." Zorak, the tall alien guard, stood at the entrance of the training hall. His glowing eyes followed her carefully. He had spent the night thinking about the black eyes, about her control, and about the quiet strength she carried. He had judged humans as weak, but he knew now that was wrong. He had to respect her even if he did not like it. "Human," he said quietly, stepping forward. "Today you will demonstrate your skill in a controlled exercise. Do not overextend yourself, but show me your strength." Lily looked at him calmly. "I will show only what is necessary. Strength without control is useless." The teacher clapped his three hands together. "Today, we will have a demonstration of endurance, strategy, and survival skills. All students will observe. This is not a fight, but a test of understanding." Students gathered around. The gray-skinned boy and his friends stood at the back, nervous. Even the tallest and strongest aliens moved closer to watch, curious about the human from Deathworld who had changed the academy in only a few days. Lily stepped onto the mat. Her posture was calm, relaxed, and confident. She did not raise her voice. She did not threaten anyone. Her small frame seemed fragile, but the weight of what she carried was clear in her movements. She began with simple drills, dodging, moving between obstacles, and striking targets. Every step was precise, every motion controlled. Even the swinging poles and moving platforms felt easy for her. Zorak watched closely. Every movement she made was deliberate. There was no wasted energy. Every strike, dodge, and step showed awareness beyond her size. She was small, yes, but she moved like someone shaped by a world far harsher than this academy could ever be. After a few minutes, she was handed a heavy training pole. She lifted it easily, spinning it with control, striking targets with precision. The blackness in her eyes began to return slightly, not anger, not threat, but focus. The air seemed heavier, charged with quiet power. Students whispered, moving back slightly. Even the teacher was silent, observing. "Humans from Deathworld endure more than you imagine," Lily said softly, her voice calm. "Strength is not only about size or force. It is endurance, control, awareness, and the will to survive. Underestimate me and you will regret it." The gray-skinned boy swallowed hard. He remembered the last time he had challenged her. His friends looked equally uneasy. Even the biggest aliens felt tension. Zorak stepped forward slowly, his jaw tight. "Human, your control, it is unlike anything I have seen. You are stronger than most aliens. You have endurance, focus, and skill beyond expectation." Lily nodded slightly. "Thank you. Respect comes from understanding, not fear alone. I do not need to hurt anyone to show my strength." The teacher clapped. "Enough demonstration. This was a lesson for all of you. Strength alone does not define ability. Endurance, control, and understanding do. Today, humans have shown us a truth long ignored." The alien students were quiet. Some bowed slightly in respect, others stared, trying to absorb the lesson. The gray-skinned boy approached her cautiously. I am sorry for mocking you," he said. "I did not know humans could endure this." Lily smiled faintly. It is not only about endurance, it is about survival. My planet taught me and now you know. Respect comes from experience, not assumptions. Zorak watched, a mix of respect and caution in his eyes. He stepped closer. Human, I underestimated you. Today I understand. You are not weak. Humans from Deathworld endure more than most species can imagine. Lily nodded. Thank you, I do not seek praise. I only seek understanding. Humans survive because we must, and we endure because we can. The day continued with normal drills, but the atmosphere had changed. Students who had mocked her before now observed quietly. Some asked questions, seeking to understand her techniques, her endurance, and her calm control. Even Zorak occasionally consulted her, asking how humans trained, how they survived Deathworld conditions, and what lessons he could take back to the academy. Ethan and Claire walked beside her during a break. You've done more than survive here, Ethan said quietly. You've changed how everyone sees humans. Lily nodded. I did not come here to change anyone. I came here to survive. But sometimes, surviving teaches others lessons they cannot learn any other way. As evening approached, the students returned to their dorms. Lily sat quietly in her cot, stretching and thinking. She remembered Deathworld, storms that could tear trees apart, cliffs that fell into deep chasms, nights alone with predators waiting. She had survived because she had no choice. The academy was difficult, but it was nothing compared to her home planet. She had control, endurance, and calm strength. She was ready for anything. Zorak approached her quietly. Human, he said softly, you have shown me the truth. Humans endure more than I thought. I apologize for underestimating you. Lily looked at him calmly. Thank you. Understanding comes from observation, not assumptions. Now you know, he nodded, a quiet respect in his eyes. I will not forget this. Your strength is unlike anything I have seen. Humans are survivors, quiet but dangerous. I understand that now. Lily smiled faintly. That is all I ask. Respect comes from understanding, not fear alone. The next days passed smoothly. The alien students treated her differently. They no longer mocked her. Some trained with her to learn her techniques, while others observed from a distance. Humans were no longer seen as weak. They were quiet survivors, shaped by worlds that tried to kill them every day. Ethan and Claire were proud. You've done it, Claire said. You've earned respect and changed the academy without fighting anyone unnecessarily. Lily nodded. It is not about fighting. It is about surviving, teaching, and showing truth. Humans endure, and that alone is a lesson. By the end of the week, the academy had shifted. Zorak no longer treated her as a small human to be monitored closely. He treated her as a capable, strong, and skilled survivor. The alien students had learned a lesson about assumptions, respect, and endurance. Even the teacher, wise and experienced, acknowledged that humans from Deathworld carried strength beyond what most species could imagine. Lily, lying on her cot at night, felt calm. She had survived, taught lessons without violence, and changed the way humans were seen. She had endured every challenge, faced fear, and showed controlled power. Her black eyes, though no longer needed to warn, had made their mark. She had proven that humans were quiet survivors, strong beyond expectation, and dangerous when underestimated. And somewhere deep inside, she smiled faintly, knowing the academy would never see humans the same way again. She had arrived as a small girl from Deathworld, judged and underestimated. She would leave as a survivor, respected and remembered by all. The academy was different now. Humans were no longer small and weak. They were quiet, enduring, and strong. And Lily Carter, with her calm control, precise movements, and survival instincts, had taught the galaxy a lesson that no one would forget. She closed her eyes, calm, ready for the challenges that would come tomorrow, knowing that she had already endured far more than anyone else could imagine. And the academy, the students, and even Zorak would carry the lesson of Deathworld human strength with them forever.